Brazil is on track to produce another record soybean harvest this season, supported by larger planted area and higher yields across its main producing regions. Headlines like this has become common as Brazil has gained so much ground in global agriculture. But this year the situation is a little different. Bigger production is no longer being matched by strong profitability. While Brazil's soybean harvest may reach a record 6.5 billion bushels, the economic conditions facing farmers are much more challenging. And for the first time in many years, the pace of soybean expansion in Brazil could slow down. I am Joanna Colucci, Research Assistant Professor in Agricultural Economics at Purdue University, and this is Commercial Ag Briefs, quick research-based insights to support better farm decisions. Stay with us, and before you get started, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Production costs have been going up over time, especially since the 2021-2022 crop season. In Mato Grosso, Brazil's leading soybean producing state, costs rose quickly and reached about $600 per acre in 2023. Total production costs exclude cash rent. More than 85% of soybean farmers in Brazil operate on land they own. A big part of that increase was linked to higher fertilizer prices after the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Brazil imports nearly 85% of its fertilizers. Meanwhile, gross revenue has moved around more than production costs, mainly because of changes in global soybean prices. In the early 2010s, during the commodity price boom, revenues increased and reached about $740 per acre. Then, during the price downturn in the middle of the decade, they fell to $400 per acre. Revenues rose again from 2021 to 2023 as soybean prices increased around the world because of strong demand and supply disruptions linked to the pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine conflict. As a result of the difference between revenues and total production costs, profitability changed quite a bit. In the early 2010s, profits increased and reached nearly $290 per acre. Then, in the middle of the decade, profitability declined and fell to around $60 to $70 per acre. That changed starting in 2020, when the pandemic pushed commodity prices higher. Then, profits jumped to about $440 per acre in 2021, the highest point in the series. But since 2023, profits have been falling as soybean prices decline and production costs stayed high. And for the current crop season, the outlook has become even more challenging. Brazil is expecting another record soybean harvest, but lower export premiums at Brazilian ports, a less favorable exchange rate, and the soybean trade agreement between China and US are likely to put even more pressure on producer returns. Profits in Mato Grosso are projected to fall to just $10 per acre, the lowest level in almost 20 years. For producers who lease land, returns are expected to be negative. Given the current situation, Brazil is unlikely to continue expanding at the same pace as we have seen over the past few years. Historically, a big share of that growth has come from adding more planted areas, especially in the Center-West and in newer agriculture frontiers. But with margins getting smaller, that becomes harder to sustain. Farmers may be less willing to take the risk, and they may also have less financial space to invest in bringing new land into production. Over time, that should reduce some of the pressure in export markets and benefit price dynamics here in the United States. You can read more about this topic in a recent article published on the Purdue Center for Commercial Agriculture website. You will find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more research-based insights, and we'll see you next time.